Echo. She doesn't remember Clint. She doesn't remember her brother Giles. Nothing.
Echo, you know, you keep calling me that, but it just doesn't sound familiar.
It's the name that I've always known you by. But if it disturbs you to have me call you that, then I won't.
Oh. No, I mean, if that's my name, then I want to know it.
Good. I'm very glad to hear that you want to know the truth about yourself, who you are, and what's happened to you. Oh, Echo, I can imagine how very frightened you must be. But I'm going to ask you to trust me.
Why should I?
No reason, really. Except that in all the time we've known each other, I've never lied to you. Well, of course. That wouldn't really make any difference to you now, would it? I guess you'll just have to go on your instinct. And judge according to that whether or not I'm telling you the truth. Will you listen to me and then decide? I would like you to come back to Llanview, Pennsylvania with me. I can get help for you there, but you have to come back to Llanview with me. Now, I have a chartered plane standing by, ready to take us home.
No. I don't know who you are. I mean, if I get on that plane, how do I know what might happen?
Nothing will happen to you. I promise you that. You see, Echo, I need you, and I need you alive and safe, and I'll take care of you.
Why do you need me?
It's a long story, but I'll try and keep it short. Echo, you are a countess. You are the Contessa di Savoy. And you were involved in a plot to hurt my husband.
I don't want to hurt anybody.
No, I believe you. And I think perhaps that you were forced to do the things that you did against your will. You're an artist. Do you know that? You take the most beautiful pictures I've ever seen. And you have respect for nature and for people, and I think that you would want to repair the damage that you caused. But you can only do that by coming back to Llanview with me. And if you do that, you can help yourself as well as me.
How can that help me?
You don't want to stay here where you are now, do you? With no past and no future, you're stuck in a present that makes no sense. Echo, I can get you help there. I can get you the best medical help available. But you must come back to Llanview with me. And I will make sure that the people who want to hurt you won't come near you.
You said I did things that were wrong. So I'll be punished.
No, you won't. I promise you, you won't. I will not press charges against you. All I want is for this awful nightmare to be over with once and for all.
You're a 10-cent phony.
You're all right.
Nobody's going to hurt you, Echo.
Clint, I think you owe her an apology.
I'm sorry.
Could we talk for a few minutes? Echo. We have always known you as Echo. But I understand your given name is Susan. Do you remember that?
No. Oh, I don't believe this.
Clint, please.
You told me that you remembered the bridge, right?
Is that the man?
Yes. Clint Buchanan.
They say you tried to kill me.
Yeah? But you and I both know that's not true, don't we?
No!
Clint, it would be better if you didn't press her.
He's right, Clint.
Damn it, Will, she remembers. I know she does. Listen, Echo, you called me about committing suicide. So I went and met you at the bridge. You climbed over the railing. I tried to keep you from jumping, and you fell in the water.
Do you remember falling into the water, Echo?
Why did you go to the bridge?
And what about Giles?
Do you remember your brother Giles?
Of course she remembers her brother Giles. The two of them planned the whole damn thing. You wanted to frame me for murder. You wanted to ruin my marriage, my life. You wanted to send me to prison.
Do that? Why would anybody want to do something
You know
like
damn
that?
well why.
Don't talk to her like that.
You and your brother were obsessed with the idea that I caused your mother's death. I didn't. I swear to you I didn't. I didn't even know for 3 weeks what happened to her. Look at me.
No,
Clint, for the
please.
last time, you can't handle it this way.
You are faking. You're faking. You know every damn thing that happened that day. Now tell it. Tell it.
I think that's a good idea.
I'll sit with you for a while.
Are you out of your mind? What on earth has possessed you? If Paul Martin puts her on the stand tomorrow and she tells them what happened here tonight, you really will go to jail.
I only wanted to get the truth out of her. I wasn't going to hurt her.
Oh, no? Are you quite sure you weren't?
Viki, she is faking. Now I know that.
You don't know anything. Nobody does. I personally happen to believe that she's telling the truth, that she really can't remember anything.
All right, so suppose you're right and I'm wrong. This doesn't do me any good, does it?
That's right.
So what do we do now?
We can only hope that she remembers everything that happened at the bridge and the motive behind it.
Viki, even if she remembered it, why would she admit it?
To keep you from going to prison.
That was the whole idea in the first place. She and Giles intended it that way.
It was the whole idea until she fell in love with you.
Don't tell me you believed that.
Yes, I do. Yes, Clint, I do.
Where are you going?
I'm going to talk to Echo and see if she's all right.
You want me to go with you?
No, absolutely not. You stay away from here. You stay as far away from her as you can. And tomorrow you stay absolutely out of her way. We don't want her any more afraid of things than she already is.
Good morning. Is your attorney here yet?
He's making a phone call.
Well, you better tell him not to take too long. Judge Gainham is a stickler for promptness.
Echo hasn't budged out of her room.
Oh, no.
But look, Will and Viki are still talking to her.
I really ruined everything last night, didn't I?
Oh. Now, don't be too sure. Look, your wife is a very persuasive woman. If anybody can talk Echo into changing her mind and coming down here, she can.
It looks like me.
It does, doesn't it? It's your mother. It's your mother and my husband. It was taken more than 20 years ago.
Where did you get it?
I got it from the trash, actually, which is where you put it. You had it in the desk drawer in the garage apartment where you lived, right out there. And you tore it up and you threw it away. Echo, if you would only come with me to the court today, I think the experience might help you to regain your memory, and I know that you want to remember everything, don't you?
I don't know.
Viki, if we're going to be there by the time court convenes.
I know. Echo, please.
Viki?
I'm sure she'll be here, darling.
I left Echo with Will.
She wouldn't budge?
No, but I'm hoping that Will will be able to get her, too. Have I missed anything?
No, nothing yet.
All rise. Oyez, the Court of Oyer and Terminer, County of Lontano, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, is now in session. The Honorable Judge Alfred L. Gainham presiding. All those having business with this court, come forward and you shall be heard. Be seated.
This is a preliminary hearing convened under the statutes provided for such procedures for the purpose of determining whether there is sufficient evidence to indict Clint Buchanan on a charge of murder, to wit, that he did willfully and maliciously cause the death of one Susan Turner DiSavoy on or about September 6, 1983. Are the accused and his counsel present?
We are ready, Your Honor. I'm Paul Martin. I am representing the defendant.
Deborah Van Druten for the prosecution.
Thank you. Are you ready, Miss Van Druten?
I am.
Then proceed.
May it please the court. The people maintain that on the date in question at about 6 o'clock in the evening, the accused and the Contessa DiSavoy were standing on the pedestrian walkway of the Front Street Bridge in Llanview.
Excuse me, Miss Van Druten. Contessa?
The woman was the widow of an Italian count, Your Honor.
I see. Go on.
The two were engaged in a heated lover's quarrel, the culmination of which was that the accused pushed the Contessa DiSavoy off the bridge. She fell into the water and was presumably drowned.
Presumably?
The body has not been recovered, Your Honor, but I'm prepared to call expert witnesses who will testify that due to the high waters in the river, plus the fact that the tide was going out at the time, the body was undoubtedly washed down the river into Delaware Bay and thence out to sea. But to resume, Clint Buchanan and Echo DiSavoy, as she was known, were lovers, by his own admission and hers. Indeed, after this was revealed to his wife, Victoria Buchanan, there was a public scene at a dinner being given in her honor, during which the accused was held up to public ridicule and humiliation. So much so, the people maintain, that he sought out the Contessa, arranged to meet her at the bridge, and then, during the ensuing quarrel in which he blamed her for the ruin of his reputation and marriage, he pushed her over the rail and into the river. The people will produce eyewitnesses to this act, which, while perhaps not premeditated in the statutory sense of the word, was nevertheless committed willfully, maliciously, in the heat of passion, and therefore falls under the definition of third-degree murder, to wit, voluntary manslaughter.
Do you wish to make an opening statement, Counselor?
No, Your Honor.
Then call your first witness.
The people call DeWitt Shandor.
DeWitt Shandor.
While on duty at the bridge on the day in question, you saw the accused push this woman over the rail and into the river.
That's right. Does the record show that Miss Van Druten was holding a photograph of the Countess DiSavoy?
And again, so that there may be absolutely no mistake, is the man who pushed her here in the courtroom?
Right over there, the man in the brown suit.
If it please the court, let the record show that the witness pointed out Clint Buchanan.
So ordered.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Martin?
Mr. Shandor, you readily admitted that you'd never met the Countess DiSavoy or Giles Morgan.
That's right.
And yet, just as readily, you identified the Countess, even though you'd only seen her for a fleeting moment, in failing light at a distance of 50 or 60 yards.
I already said. I saw the picture in the Chronicle. So when she showed me, I knew it was her when the DA showed me.
Ah. Now, I have a transcript here of your sworn statement for the police in which you claim, on the day in question, September 6th, that a trawler radioed you that it was approaching and for you to raise the bridge.
That's right.
And the name of this trawler, I believe, is the Montclair Queen.
Yeah. Runs up and down the river here all the time.
Ah, so you're acquainted with the look of the boat, then, having seen it a number of times.
Oh, sure.
Well, Your Honor, I have a photocopy here of the trawler's log obtained from the owners and notarized, in which they state that on the day in question, September 6th, that they were berthed in the port of Baltimore at 3 p.m. unloading their catch, and that they did not leave the port of Baltimore until 6 p.m. that night. I respectfully request that this record be admitted for evidence.
So ordered. But, Mr. Martin, I fail to see where these questions are leading. The fact that Mr. Shandor mistakenly opened the drawbridge at that particular moment.
Your Honor, I suggest that it was not a mistake. I suggest that the opening of the bridge was prearranged as a signal to the Countess, or perhaps to distract Mr. Buchanan, or maybe even to obscure the vision of someone over on the other side of the river.
Objection, Your Honor. Counsel is engaging in speculation without any basis in fact.
Well, because this is a preliminary hearing granting the widest latitude to the defense, I'm going to allow the comments to stand on condition, counsel, that...
Now then, Mr. Shandor, how do you explain...
I can't go in there, Doctor. I just can't.
Listen out here, then. See if what they're saying brings anything back.
Funny, though. Boat comes through here real often. Very rare.
Now, you did radio the Montclair Queen to stop, did you not? When you saw the Countess DeBoy go into the water, Mr. Buchanan followed
That's
her.
right. Yeah, I didn't want her to run them down.
Well, the radio operator of the Montclair Queen, and I have his sworn testimony here, Your Honor, he said that he never received or sent any such message. Thank you very much, Mr. Shandor. I have no further questions for you.
Redirect?
No, Your Honor, but if I may be allowed an observation, the core of Mr. Shandor's testimony still stands. The raising or lowering of the bridge is irrelevant, as it has no bearing on the act of the accused.
You may step down.
The people call Dorian Lord Callison.
Dorian Lord Callison. Place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. In the case now in hearing, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Be seated.
Please state your full name and address.
Dorian Lord Callison. I live at 230 Chestnut Street, Llanview, Pennsylvania.
Thank you. If the court please, in order to spare Mrs. Callison's feelings due to the nature of her relationship with the defendant and his wife, I would like to dispense with the normal question-and-answer routine and simply allow the witness to relay what happened on the day in question in her own words.
Counselor? Very well.
Mrs. Callison, would you proceed?
I was with Victoria Buchanan on that day at the bridge on Front Street. We arrived there just as the bridge was about to open, but we could see on the opposite side that the bridge was opening Clint Buchanan and the Contessa DiSavoy. They were fighting, physically struggling. Victoria Buchanan ran to the gatehouse on the left-hand side, shouting to her husband, "Stop it, stop it." I followed just a few seconds behind her, and I could see Clint Buchanan holding on to the Contessa by her arms, and he pushed her.
Do you think you could demonstrate that for us if you imagine that you are Mr. Buchanan and I'm the Contessa?
Yes. Like that. He held her by the arms and then pushed her. Thank you, Mrs. Callison. Your witness.
Miss Callison, refresh my memory, if you would. I believe you testified that you arrived on the scene a few seconds after Mrs. Buchanan. That is, at a point where you could see what was happening on the bridge.
Yes, that's true.
But weren't you talking to the gatekeeper of the bridge when the Countess fell?
I just told the district attorney exactly what happened.
Well, no, all I'm saying is that in a scene encompassing no more than a few seconds at most, that you may have looked away at a crucial moment and thus drawn a mistaken inference from what you saw.
I did not make a mistake.
Isn't it just possible that Mr. Buchanan was trying to keep the Countess from falling rather than pushing her?
No.
You're sure about that?
Yes, I am.
Mrs. Callison, is it true that your relationship with Mrs. Buchanan has been over the years, how should I characterize this? Has been a rather stormy one?
It has at times been rather difficult, yes.
And isn't it also true that before Mr. and Mrs. Buchanan were married, you had an intimate relationship with the accused?
Objection. Irrelevant and immaterial.
No. On the contrary, Your Honor, I really believe that this question goes directly to the credibility of the witness. I don't think that Mrs. Callison is deliberately perjuring herself, but I do feel that perhaps, maybe subconsciously, that this relationship has somehow influenced her perception of the truth.
Well, that seems rather far-fetched to me, Mr. Martin. I'm going to overrule you. Counsel's last two questions will be stricken.
So, Mrs. Callison, you are sticking to your version of the events, even though you know full well what the consequences may be for the accused.
Excuse me, Mr. Martin. I mind you're using the phrase, sticking to my version. I am telling the truth. I have taken an oath to tell the truth, and I am doing exactly that. May I also say that I regret having to do this.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Callison. No further questions.
Redirect?
What were you about to say when Mr. Martin interrupted you?
I was about to say that I regret having to do this more than almost anything I have ever done in my entire life. But I have sworn to tell the truth, and I am doing exactly that.
Thank you, Mrs. Callison.
You may step down, Mrs. Callison.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, people rest.
Counselor?
Yes, Your Honor, the defense calls Victoria Lord Buchanan.
Victoria Lord Buchanan.
As the district attorney did with Mrs. Callison, and that is to simply let Mrs. Buchanan tell what happened on the night in question in her own words.
Very well.
Mrs. Buchanan, if you would.
Well, up to a point, it was exactly as Mrs. Callison said it was. When we arrived at the bridge, the barrier was just coming down, so I got out of the car and I ran to a point where I could see my husband and the Countess, and they were on the bridge. They were standing by the rail, and it was just at a point beyond where the bridge opened. And they were struggling, but we couldn't hear what they were saying. All of a sudden, she broke away from him and ran away from him and sort of flung herself over the rail, and he went after her and he reached out and he grabbed her by the arms, And he was holding on to her, trying to keep her from jumping. And she continued to struggle, and then she broke away from him finally, and she fell into the water. Now, I know that that's what happened. I know that I'm right. And I know my husband. He's just not capable of such an act. He's a good and a decent man, and he could never do anything like that.
Would you like a few moments to compose yourself?
No, I'm all right. Thank you.
Mrs. Buchanan, I'll try to be as brief as possible. The district attorney mentioned a public quarrel that you had with your husband over his admitted indiscretion with the Countess. Would you tell us about that?
It was staged. We agreed to do it. We were trying to trap Echo, the Countess, and her brother, Giles Morgan. We were trying to find out what they were trying to do to my husband and why.
So you believe that it was a conspiracy between them, then?
Yes, I do. After all, they concealed their relationship when they first came to Llanview. They never told anybody that they were brother and sister, and I also believe that Echo either knew Clint or at least knew of him long before she came here.
How did you come to that conclusion?
From a picture that I obtained.
This picture?
Yes.
Your Honor, if the court please, let the record show that I am holding up a photograph of the accused with Giselle French Stanford, who is the mother of the Contessa DiSavoy. Taken about when, would you say, Mrs. Buchanan?
20 years ago, maybe a little more.
Object, Your Honor.
Overruled. Enter the photograph in evidence.
Just one more question, Mrs. Buchanan. Do you love your husband?
Yes.
In spite of his admitted indiscretion with the Countess DiSavoy?
Yes.
And at the time of the incident on the bridge, had you forgiven him?
No. No, I haven't. But I felt, and he did too, and I think we still feel that perhaps in time.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we all understand the implications of your answer. Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Miss Van Druten?
Your Honor, for the purposes of this hearing, I see no reason to cross-examine, but I would like to point out that because of her relationship to the defendant, Mrs. Buchanan cannot be considered a fair or impartial witness.
You may step down, Mrs. Buchanan.
I'm right outside. I have to get some air.
I can't believe there's no way around.
Just ruling. Well, when a reputable psychiatrist such as Will Vernon certifies that a witness can testify, then...
Good morning.
Vicky, how you feeling?
Fine, thanks.
Good. You ready to go for it?
Yes, I think so. Here, you asked me to bring this down for you.
Thank you. What's wrong with that? Oh, I don't know, clutching at straws, I guess. I bought this for Giselle 20 years ago. I wonder if Echo and Giles even know that. It was a long time ago, you know. I was still kind of a young guy then. I had a lot of hopes and dreams and desires. I still thought a fella had something to do with his own destiny at that time, you know. But now...
Careful, sweetheart. You broke it. What is that?
It's a letter.
Oh, my word.
The handwriting's the same. Could it sound like someone had planted it?
I cannot imagine a single reason for Echo and Giles to plant this kind of a letter. It shoots their plan full of holes.
No, this could be it. This could be exactly what I need.
Well, should we take it to the courthouse with us and show it to Paul?
Better than that, why don't we take it by the hospital, show it to Echo? There isn't time for that. Get her to remember. Let's go. Well, what do you think?
certainly admissible as evidence, if we can establish its authenticity.
Oh, more than your buddy.
Well, I've got a couple of items. I'll mull them over.
Brother, thanks for coming.
Well, I wouldn't miss the fun for anything. This is when you're going to get cleared, big brother.
Well, I've been trying to tell him all day.
Well, Asa would be here, but he's not feeling too well right now. But the doc says as soon as he's able to, he'll be there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this courtroom is now open.
Well, 2 more hours, it'll all be over with.
It'll be all right.
One way or the other. If counsel would state her reasons why for this.
I feel that the appearance of the Contessa has raised certain questions that Mrs. Buchanan is best qualified to answer.
As long as you substantiate that contention, I will grant your request.
Victoria Lord Buchanan.
Thank you, I understand.
If you will bear with me for just a moment, I would like to review a little of your previous testimony to be sure I have it right. Mr. Martin asked about a public quarrel you and your husband had at a dinner given in your honor at a restaurant, I believe it was called Le Petit Oiseau.
That's correct.
And you told the court that that quarrel was not genuine, that you and your husband had decided to stage it in order to discover the intentions of the Contessa DiSavoy and her brother, Giles Morgan, who were present at that dinner.
That's right.
However, the fact is that at that point in time, you and Mr. Buchanan were estranged, were you not?
That depends entirely on what you mean by the word estranged.
Were you living together as husband and wife?
We were living in the same house, yes.
That isn't quite what I asked you, Mrs. Buchanan. Were you sharing the same bedroom? Was there a sexual relationship
Objection,
between
Your Honor. This is irrelevant and immaterial.
Your Honor, I contend the question is extremely relevant. If, in fact, Mr. and Mrs. Buchanan were estranged at the time, then one could reasonably draw the conclusion that their quarrel that night was not staged at all.
Objection overruled. The witness will answer.
Yes, we were estranged.
Will you speak up, Mrs. Buchanan, so that the court reporter can hear you?
Yes, we were estranged.
In fact, he was living in a remote part of the house, was he not?
Yes.
You know that.
And this estrangement,
talk. I mean, at times like these, people are bound to gossip.
It came about because of Mr. Buchanan's relationship with the Contessa DiSavoy. Is that
yes.
right? So that at the height of the quarrel at the Petit Oiseau, you told your husband that he had 1 week to get out of the house, he could go back to his mistress, that she was welcome to him, and that you and he were through, correct?
I don't really recall my exact words.
Well, that was the gist of your remarks that evening, was it not? Mrs. Buchanan, I have several witnesses who can testify that in
It's approximately what I said, yes.
But, Your Honor, the witness has already testified that they staged that whole argument. I just fail to see that any of this has any relevance whatsoever.
Is that an objection, Mr. Martin?
Yes, indeed it is.
Your Honor, I simply cannot accept that premise. Mrs. Buchanan, as you may be aware, is the daughter of the late Victor Lord. She's a woman of impeccable standing in the community. Her entire history and background cry out against her staging such a public spectacle, especially for the reasons she advances. Some vague notion that by so doing, she and her husband could smoke out the
Excuse me, Your Honor, but I have the feeling that counsel is making a speech.
I'm merely responding to learned counsel's...
Enough. I'm going to allow the question and the answer.
But, Your Honor...
Please take your seat, Mr. Martin.
So, as a result of the quarrel at Le Petit Oiseau, Mr. Buchanan realized that the Contessa had effectively ruined his marriage. And his career, wouldn't you say, Mrs. Buchanan? I mean, you could not allow him to go on working for you at the Banner.
Objection, Your Honor. This is a hypothetical question.
Sustained.
Very well. The point is that in his rage and frustration, he sought out the Contessa, who had in fact been the cause of all this, and... By the way, Mrs. Buchanan, is your husband a violent man?
No.
But he does have a quick temper, does he not, especially where you're concerned?
I don't think so at all. No.
Really? Because it is a matter of record that he was arrested for assaulting the judge who sent you to jail.
Objection, Your
Sustained.
Honor.
Miss Van Druten, as you are no doubt well aware, the prior record of the accused is not admissible in this hearing. Only that evidence which bears upon the specific act with which he is presently charged.
Your Honor, with all due respect, it is relevant. Then, as now, Mr. Buchanan's temper provoked him into an act of violence.
That is a damn lie! Take your seat, Mr. Buchanan, or I will find you in contempt of court. Sit down.
I think the actions of the accused speak for themselves, Your Honor. No further questions.
Paul put me on the stand. Let me tell him what really happened.
Clint, look, the burden of the proof is still on the state. Besides, you are in no shape whatsoever to testify at this point.
Cross-examine, Mr. Martin?
Yes, indeed, Your Honor.
How long have you known Echo DiSavoy?
About 4 months.
And what were your first impressions of her?
Oh, they were very positive. I liked her personally, and I thought she was a very talented photographer.
In fact, you hired her as a special assignment photographer for the Banner, did you not?
That's right.
But this was done, I believe, over your husband's objections, was it not?
Yes.
What reasons did he give for his reluctance?
Objection. Your Honor, not the best evidence. Mr. Buchanan is present. He can speak for himself under oath, if counsel desires.
Objection sustained. Strike the question.
Very well. Mrs. Buchanan, you have been married to the defendant for how long?
A little under a year.
But your professional and your personal lives really go back a much further time than that, don't they?
About 4 years.
Based on your experience over that period of time, how would you characterize his temper? Would you say that he had a very volatile, violent one?
No. I mean, he has his likes and dislikes. We all have that. But he is not a violent man, Your Honor. He would simply never...
Objection. Your Honor, are we going to waste the time of this court by allowing the wife of the accused to appear as a character witness for him? Of course she's going to excuse his actions. Of course she's going to portray him in as shining a light as possible.
Your Honor, I believe that it was Ms. Van Druten who introduced this whole line of questioning to begin with, by trying to inject an incident from Mr. Buchanan's past into the record.
I thwarted her in that attempt, as you may recall, Mr. Martin, just as I'm going to overrule you now. Strike the last question and the witness's response.
What, are you kidding me? This is not fair.
No, boy, it's not fair.
Oh, you may proceed, Mr. Martin.
All right, just a few more questions now for you, Mrs. Buchanan.
Where are you going? I couldn't stay 1 more minute in that place. Listen to that little woman go on. What's he doing here? Hey. What the hell are you doing?
Hey, get your hands off me.
What do you want to cause more trouble?
I'm not causing any trouble. This is the way you treat somebody who comes here to testify as a citizen?
What do you mean testify? Come on. Oh, he's going to testify? Cool off. Why don't you take a walk?
Thank you, Mrs. Buchanan. I have no further questions.
Redirect.
No, Your Honor.
You may step down, Mrs. Buchanan.
Your Honor, the witness for whom I've been waiting is now present. May I call him?
By all means.
The people called Giles Morgan. Would you describe your brother-sister relationship as a close one?
Yes, of course, very close.
So, of course, you knew of the relationship between your sister and Clint Buchanan.
Yes, I did. I was her only confidant, and she had nobody else to turn to.
I understand they first became acquainted through her work at the newspaper.
Well, that's right, but then after a time, their relationship became more of a personal nature.
On whose initiative?
Objection, Your Honor. This is hearsay and calls for a conclusion from the witness.
Not at all, Your Honor. Mr. Morgan was on the scene. He had eyes to see what was happening.
I'll allow the question, at least for the moment.
Mr. Morgan?
It was on Mr. Buchanan's initiative. You see, he made up all kinds of excuses to invite Echo to his home. He kept turning up at her studio.
That's a lie.
And how
She's
do
the one who found the
feel
excuses.
about all this?
Well, I tried to discourage her. As a matter of fact, you know, she was offered another job, and I urged her to take it. But it was too late.
Meaning that she had fallen in love with Mr. Buchanan.
That's right. Not only didn't she quit her job, but she also took a lease on a garage apartment at Llanview, just to be near him.
Llanview. That would be the estate owned by Mrs. Buchanan.
Yes, that's right. You see, she felt Mr. Buchanan needed her. She felt that the marriage was empty and unfulfilled, that Mrs. Buchanan was a cold and unresponsive woman, almost as if she was condoning this affair.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. Strike the witness's last answer.
But, in fact, Mrs. Buchanan did send her husband and your sister out on assignment together, did she not?
Yes, she did. It was to cover a flood upstate in Credence.
Where they were marooned together alone for several days.
Exactly. Which is when the affair was consummated.
Objection, Your Honor. Look, if two people are alone, how can a third party testify as to what went on between them?
If the court please, there is some question as to the Contessa's competence as a witness. But when she was in full possession of her faculties, she did confide in her brother.
You don't have to spell it out, Miss Van Druten. I follow your line of reasoning. I'm going to allow the answer to stand.
I take it that when your sister returned from the mountains, she told you this.
Yes, of course, as a matter of fact. I hadn't seen her so happy in so long a time. She was convinced that Mr. Buchanan was going to leave his wife and marry her. So convinced that she went and confessed the whole affair to Mrs. Buchanan and asked for his freedom.
Oh, but that was not to be. Now, what happened next?
Very much the opposite. Mr. Buchanan turned on her. He accused her of ruining his life and breaking up his marriage. This devastated my sister. She called me and told me that she made one attempt to meet him for one last time. I warned her not to go. No one could tell what could happen. I was very worried about her. I was at home, and I decided not to stay there and just take the car and drive up to the Bridgeway Motel where they were supposed to meet. But I arrived there too late. He'd already pushed her off the bridge.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. Strike it. Mr. Morgan, please.
Not true.
Confine yourself to factual answers and do not draw conclusions.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Mr. Morgan, did your sister speak to you about Mr. Buchanan's violent nature?
Oh, objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Your Honor, I ask that this question be allowed for the same reason as before. The Contessa may not be competent to speak for herself.
On that ground, I will allow it for the time being. You may answer.
Not only did she speak of it, but she also bore proof of it. One night, she came home with marks all over her arms. And when I asked her where they came from, she said she'd gotten into a fight with this Mr. Buchanan. And during this fight, he grabbed her. He threatened her. And he shook her violently. I begged her. I told her not to see him anymore. Get away from him. Even leave Llanview if necessary.
But she did not do so.
No. She was caught between a warring husband and his wife, and they were using her as they would have.
You are lying, Morgan, and you know it as well as I do. You are lying.
Quite some time. As a matter of fact, when we met again, it was at my father's funeral. You see, my father had spent many years in a mental institution. Seems that a lot of tragedy hit our family. Anyway, we both didn't rush into each other's arms, because both of us blamed each other for not taking care of her properly. So after a few days, I followed her to Llanview to try to make up for that, but I didn't want to embarrass her by advertising the fact that I was her brother.
Embarrass her? How?
Okay. You see, I was convicted of a felony in Arizona some time ago. I was falsely convicted, I might add. And if the facts should catch up with me, well, I didn't want my sister to make any excuses for my past.
Miss Morgan, is it true that you and your sister felt that Mr. Buchanan was responsible for your mother's death?
It isn't a feeling. It's a fact.
And yet, your sister allowed herself to fall in love with Mr. Buchanan.
Well, she didn't know about my mother when that happened.
It happened then after the affair was consummated.
Yes, that's when I told her, because I wanted her to break off with Clint.
Tell me, Mr. Morgan, exactly how did your mother die?
She drowned.
That's after a fall from a bridge.
There was no fall. He killed her just like he tried to kill my sister.
How do you know? How do you know that? Were you there?
Of course I wasn't there.
Well, then I suggest that your assertion is mere conjecture based on what you've read or perhaps what you heard somebody saying.
Why don't you ask her?
Oh, I intend to do exactly that, Mr. Morgan, if I'm given a chance. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Redirect?
No, Your Honor.
You may step down, Mr. Morgan.
Call your next witness, please.
Do people call Echo DiSavoy?
Echo DiSavoy.
Your Honor, before this witness is examined, I would like a ruling on her competence to testify.
Ordinarily, I would rule against her being heard, since a qualified psychiatrist has submitted a deposition.
As I told Your Honor in chambers, the defense has no objection.
I was coming to that. Since both the people and the defense want this witness to be heard, and since I should be able to judge her competency after her testimony has been taken, I will allow it. I remind you that you are still under oath, Mrs. DiSavoy.
You may sit down.
I have only 3 questions for you, Echo. Did you have an affair with Clint Buchanan?
Yes.
Did you meet him at the Front Street Bridge on the day in question?
Yes.
And did he push you off that bridge, or did you fall?
He pushed me.
And by he, you mean the accused?
Yes.
And can you point him out for us, please?
Yes, he's that man over there.
Let the record show that the witness pointed to the accused.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examine?
Your Honor, if it please the court, I would really like to follow the same procedure as we did yesterday in the hearing, and if you will allow the defendant to cross-examine the witness.
Are you sure you approve of this, Mr. Martin?
Yes, I do, Your Honor, particularly in this case, given the extraordinary circumstances surrounding the case, and also the questions that have arisen regarding the competency of the witness.
Do the people object?
Heavens no, Your Honor, if counsel is foolish enough to allow...
I didn't ask for comments, Miss Van Druten, only for your stipulation that the procedure is acceptable to the people.
It is, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Buchanan, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Echo, let's go back to that day at the bridge. Is it possible that you were consciously or unconsciously reenacting your mother's death that day?
Reporter cannot record a shake of the head. The witness must answer verbally.
No.
Have you ever seen this before?
I don't know.
Well, maybe if I play the tune for you, it might help. recognize it now?
Yes. It belonged to my mother.
Did you know there was a false compartment in this music box?
No.
Neither did I. And hidden in here all that time, all these years, has been a letter addressed to you, Echo. Do you know who wrote it?
No.
Would you be so kind as to read it to us?
Objection. Your Honor, I request a 5-minute recess so that the people may have a chance to examine this letter if it is to be entered into evidence.
You'll have the same opportunity as the rest of us when she reads it. Objection overruled. Proceed, Mr. Buchanan.
Thank you, Your Honor. Echo, if you please.
Mrs. DiSavoy. Are you able to continue? Please answer verbally, Mrs. DiSavoy.
Yes. Yes.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Will you please read the letter to the court?
My beloved children, I am writing this letter so that one day you may know the terrible truth, if indeed it comes to that. For I am in fear of my life. I now believe... Oh, no! Oh, no.
Do you know whose handwriting that is, Echo?
No.
No? Then why are you crying?
She had a premonition.
Who had a premonition?
My mother.
Oh, really? Your mother?
Yes. Yes, I remember now. This is my mother's handwriting. It is. Giselle wrote this.
Your Honor, I demand that this be stopped immediately. No, I'm telling you, my sister's emotional state is much too fragile. She cannot go on with this kind of interrogation.
I will not tolerate another interruption of this kind. Mr. Morgan, you will come to order at once.
The court will take a 15-minute recess, and the witness will try to compose herself. I wish to see the prosecutor and the defense in chambers.
All rise.
I had to do that, Viki. It was my only choice.
Yeah, I know.
That letter is the truth. Giselle knew her husband, and she knew how he would react.
Well, I just hope that this will bring all of this mess to an end. I must say, when she started reading the letter, there was a real look of recognition on her face. It was quite genuine. I think maybe you got through to her. Maybe.
Well, she might have her memory back, but what about her morals? I mean, there's no guarantee that she's going to get on the stand and tell what really happened on the bridge. She could keep on trying to destroy me.
Clint, I want to speak to Echo alone.
Why?
Because I want to.
I'm not sure that's such a good idea. What about Giles? What about Carla?
Well, just take it easy. We'll wait and see what happens.
That
letter's nothing but a forgery, Buchanan, and you know it. And you're not going to get away with it.
The letter is true, and you know it.
More important, Giles, is that Echo knows it. And you do know it, Echo, don't you? It is real.
The only thing she knows is what she's already heard. That your husband pushed Giselle off that bridge.
Giles, please, your sister is upset.
Why are you people doing this to me? Can't you please just leave me alone?
Look, Mrs. Scott, you've got to get this hearing postponed. Okay, you can see this distraught condition my sister's
I
in.
think all of us should clear out of here and leave your sister a chance to compose herself. I mean, that's why the recess was called. Come on. Come on.
That means everybody.
You can't say no. You elaborate. Can you give one statement?
Giles.
Dale, I'm going to check you out.
Well, that was one smart move, Margot. Sorry. I just hope you have eyes behind your head.
Echo, you know, Clint loved Giselle very, very much. Do you really believe that he's the kind of a man who could kill somebody he loved that dearly? Do you remember anything of the time that you spent in the mountain cabin with him? Do you remember making love with Clint?
Yes. I remember everything about that night.
Do you remember the next day? I came and I took him away from you.
Yes.
You were very angry and very hurt and very bitter.
Yes.
Oh, Echo. Don't let that bitterness stand in the way of your seeing the truth now. He played no part in your mother's death. He really didn't. He's innocent. I know he is. And believe me, I also know how you're feeling right now.
Do you?
I think so. The hurt and the pain are all very, very real. And yet somehow you sort of feel that you have to reach beyond all that pain. Because your mother's letter was reaching out to you. And you feel you have to forgive him.
But it's so hard to forgive him. It's just too hard.
I know that.
How could you know?
Because I'm trying to forgive him myself for the night that he spent with you.